intent that they had committed false imprisonment on Holmes Drive. Right there. Greg McMichael, guilty of all charges. Why? What's your emergency? I'm out here in Satilla Shores and there's a black man running down the street. Yeah, this is what we get. This is what we get. Driveway decisions and assumptions. Right here. We've gone through all this. I'm not going to do it again. Bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, they committed 4 felonies against Ahmaud Arbery in violation of his personal liberty before he finally tried to run around their truck after running from them for 5 minutes. He was trying to get away from these strangers who were yelling at him, threatening to kill him. And then they killed him. Do you have any doubt that they committed all of the charges in the indictment? No. No. Remember, a reasonable doubt does not mean a vague or arbitrary doubt, but it's a doubt for which a reason can be given. In other words, you say it out loud. I doubt William Roddy Bryan was committing aggravated assault with his pickup truck because it was just reckless conduct. If you can honestly look each other in the eye and say that about Mr. Bryan with a straight face, ladies and gentlemen, you're the jury. You decide. This is your search for the truth. If you honestly can look at each other and say that out loud, then find him not guilty of the aggravated assault. Find him guilty of a lesser. Because you decide. You are Glenn County. I mean, today you are Glenn County. Remember, this isn't about having personal baggage back in the jury room. It's not about a point of view or an agenda or anything like that. That's not what's going on. You all are really, really smart, and you've paid really, really close attention to this case. You're going to determine what really happened based on the evidence, and then you're going to apply the law that the judge gives you to that evidence. It's not about being an advocate for anybody. It's your search for the truth. I suggest once again that you work from the bottom of the indictment. It's just going to be easier. Criminal attempt at false imprisonment, and then work your way through it. It'll help you logically. Remember party to a crime when you're talking about Greg McMichael and Mr. Bryan. You're going to get a verdict form. The state is asking you to fill it out this way, especially for Mr. Bryan and the aggravated assault with the pickup trucks. He's not guilty of simple assault. He's not guilty of reckless conduct. He's not guilty of reckless driving. He's guilty of aggravated assault for putting Ahmaud Arbery in reasonable apprehension, fear of receiving serious bodily injury. I overshot the road and forced him into a ditch. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the thing. This isn't about whether these 3 men are good people or bad people. That's not what this is about. It's about responsibility. It's about holding people accountable and responsible for their actions. When they do something like this, they have to be held accountable and responsible. Nobody gets a free pass. Okay? Would you get a free pass? Who gets a free pass? No. The law basically says if you commit the crime, you're going to be held responsible. And ladies and gentlemen, when you come back with a guilty verdict on all the charges, this isn't saying somebody's a good person or a bad person. What you're saying is, you know you committed the crime. Now we know you committed the crime too. That's all it is. They know what they did. It's not like they don't know what they did. They know exactly what they did and they know why they did it. It's not a mystery to them. When you come back with your guilty verdict, all you're doing is telling them, we know what you did too. And we're going to hold you responsible for it. Because guess what you did? You turned this young man into that young man. That's what you did. For absolutely no good reason at all. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm asking you to find all three defendants guilty of all the charges in the indictment. Thank you very much.
All right, excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a 10-minute recess, and then we're going to come back with the charge of the court. Do not begin your discussions or deliberations in this case until you have received the final charge of the court. Again, with about 10 minutes, and we'll come back and get that onto the record. Thank you.
All right, for the jury.
All right, so let me turn this down. I'm working from home today, so hopefully there's no bad audio. I forgot about this trial, so I wasn't paying attention. So we missed the beginning. So they're going to go into deliberations, and then we're going to have to wait and see what's going to transpire this today. I guess I could just cut off social media. We'll go live. I suppose we'll go live once we find out what's going on with it. But I'm home today because, well, they're home today. So, you know, that high-tech stuff. What else? What? So press and hold it down until it shuts off. No, that. Press the button on it.
This?
Press the button on it.
This?
Yep, hold it down. Hold it. Don't let go. Hold it down and don't let go till it shuts off. Riley, get up and do it. Liam, let go.
Yeah, because he was spamming the button.
Or whatever. These children. Unbelievable. Someone said that was a lot of pot seized. Crazy. It was one warehouse out of 5. Are you talking about the 500? What was it? 5? I remember seeing an article last week. I actually meant to write about it, but I didn't. Boom, boom, boom. Dad life, right? So press the button again to turn it on, dude. No, on that. Yeah, there you go. It's Riley. Yes, it is. Be quiet. Do the video. Yo, stop. This was a bad idea. I knew it was. But whatever. All right, you are this close to getting grounded. I'm telling you to be quiet. Obviously, the kid who is sick is feeling better. And he's kind of annoying right now. Someone said, bring them to the officers' T-shirts to make. Yeah, actually, you guys can see all these boxes. Ah, shit. Which side? See all those boxes right there? Those are all the rest of the November and December T-shirts. We finally have them all. So tomorrow I'll be shipping out the rest of the November boxes. Keep in mind, 30 of you guys will not have the challenge coins. You'll get a little card that'll say as soon as we have them, you'll use that card and get your challenge coin for free because we're still waiting on them. Maybe they'll come tomorrow, but I don't know. Probably not. That's the way my life is working right now. But yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see what transpires with this case. Yesterday there was I forgot what group it was, Black Militia, that was armed outside of the courthouse. It's been pretty interesting. There's not going to be a lot of news this week because it is Thanksgiving week. So my guess is there's not going to be a lot of news outside of this story. Now, if for some reason the jury returns a verdict here that is not what people expect, I think it's going to be pretty rough. I don't know anything about this trial. That's why I haven't said anything about this trial or anything, because I I haven't been watching it. I don't know. And it's really funny, right? Because it was super quiet in this room until I started going live, and now they won't be quiet, and they're just making more noise than they ever do. And they have big smiles on their faces, but wait till I'm done and wait till they have to start cleaning for the rest of the day. But it's going to happen. It's going to happen. The new Black Panthers, yeah, that's a group. That's a group that was out there. Mike Lindell is in the Supreme Court today. Yeah, well, I don't know if he's in the court. He's filing, isn't he? I don't know what's going on with that. Riots all over the country in this case. If they're found not guilty, I don't think that this country, yeah, if they're found not guilty based on just a little bit that I've seen, we're in some trouble. I did see the message yesterday that the people out there were talking about hitmen to go out and to take care of these people. We'll see if the FBI is planning on investigating that. And what else? Or at least one person took offense to the fact that I called what happened in Waukesha a terror attack, because they said, well, it doesn't meet the definition of a terror attack. And then it was really funny. And I'm not going to say who it is because it would throw them under the bus, and I don't necessarily want to do that.
What do you have?
I don't know what.
Yours, guys.
I'm getting annoyed. One of our writers, we had to dismiss one of our writers because they think they're smarter than everybody because they're going for a degree in Homeland Security. Now, they said it's not terrorism, and yesterday they were kind of being a pain in the ass about it, saying that for terrorism, you have to meet 3 elements. 1, endangers life and crimes. 2, destructive or critical infrastructure, key resources. And element number 2 has to be actions are intended to intimidate or coerce government and civilian population. And element, actors have a political, social, or religious ideology that actions were taken to further their objective of that ideology. Unless you're an idiot, all 3 of these elements were met in the vehicle attack that took place in Waukesha on Sunday. They ran people over. There's element number 1. 2, the actions are definitely, they attacked a Christmas parade. If that's not meant to intimidate, I have no idea. And 3, they have political and social ideology. It's all over their social media with all the BLM posts and the anti-white posts that are all over there. For some reason, people are just being argumentative. And then they can't follow simple instructions too. But yeah. And most of our mods know you can disagree, and that's fine. But unless you want me to blast, here's the thing, Cam. I know you're probably watching this right now. I've asked you like several times to stop messaging me because it's kind of making you seem a bit like a stalker. So why don't you just stop messaging and move on before I put your whole email on blast? And just ridicule you, and just spend some time doing it, because I really just got a bunch of kids around, so I have nothing else to do today besides, just go ham all over you. So stop sending me emails, you crazy person. Freaking stupid. She's mad that I took away her modding abilities. Fucking kids, dude. We got to be more selective on who we even bring in for writers, apparently, because this shit's annoying to me. He could have used a horn. He did not. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, he wasn't fleeing anything either. Yeah. Someone said, I'm not getting a degree in criminal justice, and I know what a terror attack is. Yeah, it's kind of funny. It's not like I have family, and I've said this numerous times. I have family that works in the federal government and law enforcement, and they have quite a high education, and they work in this industry, or so stupid. He meant to do it. It was a terror attack. No one's gonna say otherwise. All right, we are not mainstream media. We don't write fake news. We tell it like it is, like it's real. And it's absolutely insane that people are just being stupid. Someone said, I'm not a smart man, but I sure know what terror is. That was a terror attack. If it wasn't a terror attack, why'd they bring in the FBI? Maybe to cover it all up. Yeah, and for anyone that doesn't know, when you write for us, you have to write a couple of articles, usually a week or two, so we can gauge that you're serious. And then what we do is we end up paying $15 an article, up to 10 articles a week, because we like to have diversity in our writers. Anybody that wants to write with us can do that, and you could easily do that. You just have to send an email to social. But for some reason, they believe, I don't know what the hell what is going on. People, this is crazy. Crazy. Long ass emails too, which is the most frustrating thing. And all we did is took away a modding ability. Unbelievable. Someone said it is domestic terrorism. Yeah, you would think. He plowed through people, barricades, etc. Yeah. I mean, I don't know how you. This is going to be one of those days, I think, where I'm just really annoyed. Derek said, I haven't been writing, lost an uncle, dealing with my kids. Oh, no worries, buddy. I can't block her. She's sending me emails. It's not like she's commenting on social media. The mods will just delete it from there, but sending me emails. My last message I thought was pretty good. You know? Andrea said, well, I'm just reading all this stuff. Domestic terrorism on our own soil. Yep. Someone said you're going to send all the money you raised. Yeah. We have to get it. So, because again, if you're unfamiliar with how YouTube works, YouTube will get that on the 21st of next month. Facebook will get, I believe, on the 1st of January. So I'm just going to cover the Facebook. But I think I have to contact someone because I want to do a scholarship. So, and again, we're doing it for the entirety of the week. So anything you buy in the store, any super chats or ad revenue or anything for this week, we will be including in that. And so it'll probably, I want to do a scholarship. That's really what I want to do. So we're going to talk to an accountant and figure out how we can do it without having to get killed in taxes. But I'd like to present someone with, a good scholarship, 10 or, I mean, we're up to close to 10 grand now. So if we can raise 20 grand, I mean, that's a good scholarship for some of these kids. So that's what we're going to do. Not too bad, right? Almost 10 grand in 2 days. 2 days. So, Steve, did you watch the Tucker Carlson interview with Kyle Rittenhouse? If so, what do you think? I did, actually. I did. And most of you guys, or a bunch of people knew. So I have a TikTok. If you look it up, Citizen Stringer. What I did last night is I actually went live when I got home and just sat there for an hour talking to those people. And I kind of like it because when we don't have that many people like we do right now, there's only 700 people watching on social media. Someone said 10 kids, $1,000 each. Yeah, someone sent me something earlier about a firefighter's son that was an athlete, and he just got hurt and had to have rods and stuff put in his legs. And so that's why I was thinking about that with the scholarships. But someone said, have a Facebook page? Yeah, I do. It's called the Citizen Stringer News is the Facebook page. Big page. But yeah, to answer the question, the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, Kyle Rittenhouse interview with Tucker Carlson. I talked about it on the TikTok last night, and I'll probably do that every night, to be honest, because I like it, because it's not that crazy. You know what I mean? Like it's quiet. There are trolls there, but I put some mods on there, and they just kept deleting them, so it was good. but I liked it. It was nice and easy to do. And to answer your question, yeah, I watched it, and it was interesting, I guess is the way to see it. I was really surprised at how well spoken he was. They were definitely rehearsed answers. You know, he knew what he was going to say, but it also could just be the way that he talks. But I thought it was a good interview. But the conversation, or Linwood is a good guy. I think he fell off. Someone said, I don't think so. Linwood is the whole. I mean, here's the question. So he talked about Linwood and he talked about John Pierce, okay, and how they kept him in jail to market basically off him, saying he'd be safer in jail, and didn't pay the bail even though they were raising all this money. Now, I'll be honest, it doesn't surprise me. I've kind of been outspoken about John Pierce and Linwood for a while, just based on the grift of it all. Kind of seemed that way because, again, Linwood was involved in the election stuff, and now John Pierce's new thing, and I forgot what it was, something. He's got one. He's actually representing a lot of the capital defendants, and now what Kyle said is he wanted to keep that John Pierce wanted to keep him in jail for, to publicize everything. It almost made me kind of be like, well, he's representing all these capital defendants as well that are not getting anywhere in their court cases. Is that a convenient? It's just weird. It's just very weird. The whole thing. Someone said, so what happened to that money? The money still, if you're talking about the trial money, it still takes a while. So they haven't released his bail funds yet. And now that's the thing is the Freedom Foundation, which is Linwood's foundation that he set up, which bailed out Kyle Rittenhouse, or paid $1.5 million to John Pierce, who paid it on behalf of the mom, because that money was all raised for bail. If you said, like, for example, if they said, hey, contribute to this bail fund, when the bail is done, we're going to keep the money, people aren't going to do it, So what they ended up doing, now they're trying to go back and get the, and someone just said it wasn't Wood, it was, it wasn't Lynn Wood, it was Pierce, which is incorrect because Pierce has nothing to do with the Freedom Foundation. Lynn Wood, it's still his foundation. And in September, they filed a motion with Judge Schroeder asking for that money to be returned to the Freedom Foundation and not the mom. And that's why the attorney Daniels, I think his name is Daniels, the Rittenhouse attorney, the older fella, he actually gave an interview shortly after, a press conference rather, shortly after the verdict, and he was asked about the bail money, and he said they're going to have a war over it. It's going to be a battle just to get that money back, because Lynn Wood is trying to get that money back, even though that money was raised purely for Kyle Rittenhouse and to pay the bail. It wasn't raised for Lynn Wood to have the money. I'm glad I didn't contribute, because otherwise I'd be suing to get my money back, because I think it's crazy. Someone said John Pierce is a lawyer for January 6 people. Breaking news. That's not breaking news. We did an article about it a couple of weeks ago. We did an article, but someone said Santilli was just on trying to stand up for one of them. I mean, Santilli runs his own show. He doesn't work for he doesn't work for me. We have his show on our network. He could say whatever the hell he wants, and he knows a lot of these people too. But it's very Richards, yeah. What'd I say, Michaels? But yeah, Richards held a press conference after saying they're gonna fight about it. But John Pierce I think he's the attorney for up to 8 of the capital defendants. Remember, and I wrote a story about it a couple of weeks ago because he disappeared off of the face of the earth for a short time. And there was a lot of confusion about where he went and why his associate. And this is the crazy thing. Look Ahead America, or whatever is the nonprofit he set up, but they're not a legal nonprofit, or they weren't at the time I wrote it. They didn't have nonprofit status with the government. John Pierce is one, and then the chief financial officer, or another executive there, was a former court clerk who was arrested and charged with this big fraud scheme. And he was actually going into the court cases for the January 6th defendants, representing that he was an attorney in federal court. and he's not an attorney. So this whole thing is just very fishy, and it's weird that all the people are the same people. You know what I mean? That's what's weird about it. Is John Pierce was also involved in Kyle Rittenhouse, and then it stopped. And I know John Pierce was also, or they were trying to get him involved in something that happened up in the Oregon area with someone, and people asked me to vet him, and I'm like, I wouldn't work with the fella. I mean, that's my opinion. I wouldn't work with him, and I'm not sure if they ever did. But yeah, crazy stuff. This whole thing, the whole spiel is just crazy. I think one of my pens, this is one of my pens from my office. How'd it get here? My good pens get here. But someone said Hancock is a fraud. I don't know who Hancock is. See my Yeet mug? You're welcome. Someone said he wasn't able to shower for a long period, forgot how long. Yeah, 3 weeks is what they said. When Biden pooped on the Pope, was it considered holy shat? That's funny. You got jokes. Did you hear about Von Mays and BCP's chat? It was nuts. He was trying to spew all his excuses for everything. He wasn't winning the battle. Someone sent me something. I mean, the dude is a lost cause. Viva Frey has a video on YouTube talking about Kyle Linwood and David Hancock. Yeah, I'm not sure who David Hancock is. I've heard his name a couple of times, but I don't know who he is. In other news, Mike Lindell announced his election lawsuit will be brought to the Supreme Court on November 23rd. Yep, that's today. I was waiting. I was supposed to Pete Santilli was supposed to send me an article so we could publish it on this, but he didn't, or maybe he did, and I just didn't see it. But Fox is headlining Mays. Yeah, maybe. Should I do the Steven Crowder thing? BCP was awesome. Yeah, I talked to him yesterday. I asked him about that dude, if he had any interaction with him up at the when he was in Kenosha. He said, yeah. He's like, that dude's crazy. He said he's just all high, wound up. But yeah, a couple of you guys texted me and said that he was in the chat, and something he said, I gave him an option. He can come on my show and I'll destroy him on the show, but I don't think he's going to do it. Fox News, Milwaukee BLM militant says Christmas parade attack may be start of revolution. Does it say that? Because no, they didn't write that. That's a good title, but when I just searched it, it doesn't show. Does it say that on Fox News right now? Because that's pretty awesome if it does. I don't see it here. Who are the haters giving thumbs down? What losers? Yeah, I mean, we always have those people. It doesn't really matter. Even the thumbs down actually does well too. Someone said, I don't know if someone messes with BCP's lives or he has bad service. No, he just uses cell phone, so service is a little finicky. BCP was tearing him up when BCP lost all platforms. Tearing who up? What, was BCP kicked off yesterday? His page is still live, I think. Someone said you saw it on Fox News this morning. Really? Good for them. Posted link in chat. Oh, yeah. That you did. A Milwaukee Black Lives Matter activists say that the Christmas parade attack in Waukesha. Good for them. Fox News actually doing some reporting. The Christmas parade attack in Waukesha, Wisconsin, appears to signal the revolution may have begun. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see because they have somebody else in custody. He writes, or they write. Mays is a well-known activist in Milwaukee. He describes himself as a battle rapper, community activist, songwriter, tattoo artist, and militant in his Twitter bio, which is accompanied by various hashtags, including Black Lives Matter, Black Loves Matter, and RBG. He said, I said I wasn't going to speak to no rumors. Y'all are repeating some of the stuff that has come up, and I could tell you that the initial person who reached out to me said they believe that this has to do with the verdict, and so I made an assumption of which side it would be from, but I don't know, he added in the video, referring to the not guilty verdict of Kyle Rittenhouse. The video was filmed at the scene of the parade attack. And now what's funny is Mays, who wanted to get his word out there and his speech out there, he did not respond to Fox News' request for comment regarding what he meant by the revolution. Black Lives Matter also did not respond to Fox News' request for comment on May's Facebook Live video. That's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting, especially considering I was one of the first people to actually put it out there. Again, we don't get any credit. It's annoying. You would think that with some of the stuff that we do, they would at least be like, like everyone, like Andy No is like going super viral for all his stuff that he posted in terms of Daryl Brooks. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense because I made a video before all of that. My video didn't go super viral. So, you know what I mean? Why is Andy No going viral? Because he's just repeating all the same regurgitated stuff as everybody else. He does cover a lot of news stuff, a lot, but news stuff. But in this instance, it's stuff that I already talked about. I know what happened is we didn't write stuff quick enough. We should have wrote the Vaughn thing. We should have wrote that, to be completely honest, because we talked about it so many times. We talked about it Friday or Sunday night. On the second time I went live, Sunday night, right after the initial video. And then we talked about it numerous times yesterday as well. So we probably should have wrote an article on it. But someone said we need more Yeet sessions to get your name out. Yeah. Jason said if real news was real and honest, you would be number one because you tell the truth. Yeah. Kate says you retweet most of your articles. Yeah, you do. I see you all the time in there. Someone said you will blow up on the talk. Yeah, that's the plan. I should be live streaming this right to TikTok right now too. Maybe I'll do that. But I can't talk about anything on TikTok. Actually, I'll go live on TikTok after this, and then you guys can join in there. Once I tell these kids, what time is it, boys? It's 11. Both of you guys have lunch. And Liam, hey, Liam, lunch now. And you have to eat. Turn this off or pause it. Are you not listening to me? I am live, so hurry up. You have to have lunch right now. Pause this. Riley, you too. And Liam, you have to eat the whole bagel, otherwise you're not playing. Do you hear me?
Okay, let's go upstairs.
No, not when you eat. And don't fake yawn either. Hey, Liam, pause this.
And we'll actually, when it ends, it will pause.
All right, take off the helmet and all that stuff. Riley, get both of your lunches. And Liam, hey, Liam, you have to eat the whole bagel. Do you understand? Kid hasn't eaten because he's been sick. Riley, move that way. Kids. Andy, no more name recognition. His book and more, yeah. Appears that Von Main appears to be in chat. Tell me some TV. What, dude? What? No, you're not having another juice. Drink water, bro. You've been sick for 3 days. Yeah. Vaughn is in the chat, eh? He trying to act like he don't see me or doesn't see me. Why don't you spell normal? Like, let me tell you some TV activist Von Mays. Why don't you just like actually type out the words? It would be he is trying to act, not trying to. That's not words. Like, use real words. Like, first off, that's what we're gonna have to do. You know, if you want to be in the chat, that's fine. We'll let your militant dumbass in our chat, but just make sure you use proper enunciation when you speak and write, in simple sentences. I think you could do that. Let's start with that. Someone said, cool seeing you do dad stuff. Yeah. Unfortunately, he's on YouTube, I guess, but he's not commenting anymore. He's probably pissed because I corrected his oh, there he goes. All right, keyboard warrior. Yeah. I wonder when. So when do you think you're going to go to federal prison, buddy? Vaughn, when do you think? Are you just going to keep like turning on people and switching them in? You know, that's the only reason why you're not locked up, right? For planning to burn down a police precinct and teaching kids how to use Molotov cocktails, right? Yeah, yeah. We know a lot about you already, and we haven't even begun to look. It's quite amazing. Call me a keyboard warrior. You're the one on the keyboard. I'm literally talking right now. So who's the keyboard warrior? That's a funny thing. You're just going in chats, you know, complaining about everything. You try to make a joke. You try to make a joke that that you were joking about calling it a revolution. Man, everyone watched your video. You may have deleted it, but everybody watched your video. We know what you really think. You know? Someone said, oh, can't be because I'm innocent. Nah, you're not innocent, dude. Who are you kidding? You are not innocent. You're guilty as hell. You know you're guilty as hell, too. You know you're guilty as hell. Someone asked, do you know of any topic or policy that could bring Americans back together? I don't know. I really don't. The way our country's going right now, I'm not quite sure. Someone said, it's still up. See, stop lying. No, I said you probably took it down. I don't know whether it's up or not. I'm surprised your page is because of all the terroristic threats you were saying yesterday. Here's a question for you, Vaughn. I have a challenge for you. That video you made yesterday, I think it was an hour and 11 minutes long. Now, I want you to do something. I want you to take any 10-minute segment of this video, and it may be hard because it'll probably be real work, which you're probably not used to. Take a 10-minute segment of that video, type it out, or do like transcribe it, and then replace every time you say black person or black man or whatever, and replace that with white. And then imagine a white person was saying it. What would you say that person is? You would say they're a hell of a racist person, right? Yeah. Yeah, dude, for one, you're clearly a racist. We know that. But secondly, almost everything you say is in that video is completely false. You say that people are trying to blame this on BLM. No, I haven't heard anyone really try to blame it on BLM. Because here's the difference of the things. You have BLM to like normal people, not to you radical militant scumbags, but BLM to normal people is, one, you have a group of people that truly care about Black lives, right? That go out and they protest. For some reason, they don't protest when, you know, people are dying in the cities and stuff like that. We do a report on it every week, 17 or so mass shootings. The majority of the victims, almost all of the victims are Black, and almost all of the shooters are Black. It's true, but nobody ever covers it, including mainstream media. Like, if you really wanted to be a militant activist, wouldn't you try to go after, you know, wouldn't you go protest gun violence in your community? Why are you in Kenosha protesting what happened in Kenosha when probably that same day in Milwaukee, someone else's life was lost by senseless gun violence? Are you out there protesting that, staging protests in those communities? I know the answer. You're not. But it's just sad. Someone said maybe you haven't seen, or that was you. Vaughn makes his income from turning in strippers for tax evasion. That's a weird allegation. I've never heard of that one before. That's a weird allegation. Vaughn and BCP were going at it last night. Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't like isolate his comments. So Vaughn lives off his followers to pay for everything. Someone said, maybe. Someone asked, am I covering the Maxwell trial? Nope. Maybe you should Google my name and search it with violence prevention. Maybe you should recognize that you're a scumbag, and your racist tirade yesterday did exactly what you wanted. It got people pissed off. That's what it did. Whether or not you want to admit it, that's what it did. You know, you can talk about how great you are and look up violence prevention. Come on, dude. Where's all the protests for 8-year-old Sequoia Turner? You know, until you actually have an answer for that. Where's the protest for 8-year-old Sequoia Turner? Where was BLM when David Dorn was killed? Till you actually give a good answer for that, then get off my page and grow the hell up. Like, seriously, you're a kid, right? 34? And I say that, I'm 37, but you act like a child. And what's up with the Chris Rock type of voice that you do when you're making the videos? That's really weird. You're not that funny. Funny looking, yes, but not that funny. And anyone that's curious, yes, I am talking to Vaughn. He's in the chat. He's taken a really long time trying to figure out how to spell things correctly. And then you said, sure, tough guy. Yeah, that's a good one, buddy. How tall are you? 5'4"? Luke said he's a bigot. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely racist. And then he said, I don't give a F about the tears and feelings of snowflakes. So that's your answer? That's your answer to the death of 8-year-old Sequoia Turner and David Dorn and all the other innocent people that are killed every single day across America? That's your answer, saying I don't give a F about the tears and snowflakes? You claim to care about Black lives, right? And for everyone that's curious, on my YouTube page right now, I have someone named, his YouTube name is Let Me Tell You Some TV, activist Vaughn Mays. You can find him on Facebook too. His name is Vaughn Mays. But I mean, seriously, there's your real question. I've slowed down the chat. So I can actually see your comments, and I'm trying to just move it down. You know? Someone said you'd answer your own question if you Googled what I just said. I asked you a question. Either answer your question or get off my page. Like, it's simple as that. Have you held a protest for 8-year-old Sequoia Turner? How many? You're from what? Milwaukee, Wisconsin, right? Yeah. I got you right now. Milwaukee. Bam, did you eat everything? Stop. No, how much did he eat?
A bite of his bangle.
No, go eat or you're not playing video games. Then you can't play video games. You got to eat more, dude. You threw up for 3 days nonstop without eating anything.
Honestly.
No, you didn't. So go sit down and eat. Go sit down and eat. I'm live right now. You said he took one bite.
Not even. Mostly one.
All right, so eat a little bit more. So here's a question for you. Hold on. Let me get his name. So here's a question for you, Vaughn. And this is up your neck of the woods. Did you go out and protest for Mallory Mudzenberger or her 3-year-old son who were killed? Probably not, right? Did you go out and protest for who's this one? Because again, I'm trying to do your community. Did you go out and protest for Killick Mack, 16-year-old, shot and killed? These are in the past couple of weeks. Those two are in the past couple of weeks, and I could keep going. Are you holding protests and vigils for these people that are being killed every week? This is in your community. What about this? On October 4th, a 4-year-old was shot in a drive-by. I can't say her name. To Nyla Parker. Did you go out and protest for her? If not, you don't care about Black lives. I'll be honest and say that 100% with 100% certainty. If you're not going out and protesting for the lives of truly innocent people, you don't care about Black lives. You're just a grifter trying to make money off of it. That's all you are. And you're pretty successful at it, right? That's what you do. Oh, and by the way, do you hit your dogs? Because it appeared that you were hitting your dogs the other day in the video. I'm not sure if that's true, but it appeared that. All right, so let me scroll down now that I caught these up. Oh, you did? You protested for those people? I don't know if you're talking to me. Someone said you have to Google the names. Yeah, because I was trying to find people in Milwaukee. You're from Milwaukee. You're laughing because I have to Google the names? Yeah, I have to Google the names. I don't live in Milwaukee. I live in Virginia. I have to Google the names. And you know what? We do reports every week. Yeah, tell me how many mass shootings there have been in the past 6 days, bud. Do you know that? I do, 16. You know, pay attention to what's actually going on. Pay attention to your own community. Don't go out and talk about giving kids guns and doing all this shit and sending guns into the community and talking about revolution. Bro, you can't even, you know, work on your own community. sad. It's sad. You know, it's sad. You claim that you care about Black lives, but you're not out there doing it. I hold vigils and led the searches for Major. You should do search before you talk to somebody. I don't need to do shit. I'll talk about whatever I want, bud. Talk about whatever I want. I'm very glad that you're in the chat, just proving that you're ignorant. I really am, because you're not. The only thing you're proving is that you don't care. You could say you led searches and bullshit. Bullshit. Your name is in the paper for doing the radicalized shit and teaching kids how to make Molotov cocktails and plotting to burn down police departments, police buildings. That's what you're known for. You're not known for doing anything else. You could put all these fancy flyers on your social media page talking about how good you are, giving away turkeys and all that stuff. But unless you're actually going out and setting up, things to actually help better kids and not teach racist stuff and anti-police stuff, bro, you're nothing. Someone else said you care about Black lives and meet your agenda. It's just sad. And here's another question for you. You were out there protesting. I don't know if Vaughn's on Twitter. He's on my YouTube page right now. Here's another question, and I'll slow down the chat so I could see it when you do it. So here's a question for you. You were out there protesting, chanting the names of JoJo Rosenbaum. Do you not feel bad about that, considering what he did to little children? Like, very serious question right there. Do you not feel bad about chanting his name? Do you have children? Would you have let JoJo Rosenbaum hang out with your children? That's a real question for you. And do you think that, because here's the truth, even if I believe that was an unjustified shoot, which I do not, I believe it was completely justified, even if I saw that there was something wrong, there's no way in hell I would be out protesting on behalf of a convicted pedophile, but yet you chose to do that, and a white convicted pedophile at that. It's very odd. Infinity and Beyond said, I love this channel, but Steve comes off as a know-it-all. And well, in this case, I kind of do know a little bit more than he does, apparently. Let me scroll down this chat. And that's, I'm curious to have his answer. So your answer to that was clearly this is KKK Robe Wash Day. Gotcha. Oh, okay. So that's your answer. Just deflecting and making some other racist stuff, right? Because now you've basically said KKK Robe Wash Day because I'm a white guy. So you're stereotyping. That's nice, buddy. That's nice. See, I didn't lump you with anyone else. I just said you are, frankly, an idiot. But that's good. I don't know why you're even in the chat, because you're not. You said absolutely not. Find one clip of me chanting JoJo's name. You were there. You were protesting for him. That's what you were there for. Do you not get that? Do you not understand that? That's why you were there in Kenosha. You weren't there for any other reason. That wasn't a Black Lives Matter march when all these people got shot. That was a riot. That's straight up what it was. They were burning down their community. It was not anything else. And you, which is really funny that you would criticize Kyle for traveling into Kenosha when he had more connections to Kenosha than you did. He worked in Kenosha County. You don't. Yet you traveled there to protest on behalf of a convicted pedophile and another guy that strangled his girlfriend and was a felony woman beater. Black lives. And they weren't even black. I don't understand that. I don't understand it. All right. Yeah, someone said I come off as a know-it-all. Yeah, that's good. I've slowed down the chat so I could try to see his comments when he comments, but it means I'm also way behind on the comments, so bear with me. Someone said I was not. How the F you gonna tell me why I was somewhere? LOL. You were not in Kenosha now. So you're saying all the video that we have of you in Kenosha is not real. Gotcha. Okay. When you made the threat to arm kids, right? That's not real. Yeah. You were there because Jacob Blake family requests I be there to help cover their actions and do security. Oh, okay. So that's kind of funny. So you're saying you wouldn't go out and represent, a white pedophile, but you would go out and represent the family of someone who allegedly raped a woman? Kind of weird, right? Kind of weird. Because you know that's why Jacob Blake was wanted by the police, right? Because he had a sexual assault allegation against him from the mother of his children. And I read the charging document. Pretty horrible thing that guy did. Pretty horrible thing. Do you have children? That's my question for you. Would you allow Jacob Blake to get in a car with your children and try to run from police with your children in the car? Answer's probably no. So you're saying you were there for that. Okay, got you. So you were not there to support the pedophile that was killed. You were there to support an alleged rapist. Good. Gotcha. Someone said when you Google Von May's vigil, the only thing that comes up is vigils for him being released from jail, someone said. And yeah, you say you were requested for security. How are you going to provide security too? I'm trying to get caught up with that. And I may be missing a comment, and he could be like, oh, you're selectively not answering comments. But I am just scrolling down. Call for a debate, Steve. Someone said, you're clearly a dummy. Do you all support Kyle, who's clearly on video beating up a girl? That's all your hero, right? No, Kyle Rittenhouse is not my hero by any means. Kyle Rittenhouse, because here's the thing. That day, he was an innocent guy that was going to protect the community. You can try to justify everything else, but here's the facts of the matter. Facts of the matter are what happened that day. If you look into everyone's background to determine whether someone's guilty or not, well, guess what? This trial wouldn't have deliberated for 4 days. If they were allowed to introduce that Rosenbaum got out of a mental hospital that day for trying to kill himself, the reason why he couldn't stay at his girlfriend's house is because he tried to kill her, and that's why he had a restraining order against her. Or she had a restraining order against him. That's why when he got out of the hospital that day, a mental hospital, mind you, he went to her house and he had to leave. Now, they neglected to mention that to you guys, but if you actually watched all the hearings beforehand, you knew that. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that was not allowed to be introduced. And then this whole video with Kyle defending his sister from an online bully, I never saw it. I don't really know. I could say that, my brothers and I can't say my brothers and I ever hit girls because that's just not something we do. But I'm not going to pass judgment on him for that. I'm sure he doesn't think it was good. But it doesn't negate the fact that this kid was being attacked and he had to defend himself. No one could make that argument. No one can make an argument otherwise. You can't make the argument otherwise. But that was funny though. And it was weird how you opened that up. Vaughn, see, here's a question. So here's a question for you because you're in the chat. Did you know that Rosenbaum got out of a mental hospital that morning? Did you know that? Does that change it? If you know Rosenbaum got out of a mental hospital that morning when he was under charges in a restraining order for trying to kill his girlfriend, strangle her, and then knowing that he molested 5 boys, molested 5 boys 10 times. There was 10 incidents. Yeah. And keep in mind, those boys were all under 11 years old. You still think it was a good look for you to go out there and protest for him? Or how about Anthony Huber? That guy strangled out his ex-girlfriend. He had a long criminal history too. These are serious questions. I'm not trying to pick on you. I'm wondering, do you know about all this, or did you just want to go out there? Does it make your name? Did you make some PayPal? Someone said, same as regardless Jacob Blake was accused of, he should not have been shot 7 times. That's a problem I have. Who the fuck just a person assumes sex crimes? Well, the fact that you're still supporting him after you find out that he was an alleged rapist. That is where it's weird. That is where it's weird. And you say he should not have been shot 7 times. Well, he was armed with a knife after fighting police with a felony sexual assault warrant, trying to get into a vehicle. And there was allegations that he was trying to kidnap one of those children that were in the vehicle, even though they were his. He didn't have custody. Now, let's say it was your kid. Would you have let Jacob Blake, after fighting with police, getting tased twice, having a warrant out for sexual assault, raping someone while they were sleeping, broke in and raped her, and then would you allow them to get in a police chase with your kid in the car? Answer that question for me right now. Say, yes, I would allow them. I would allow my child to go in the car with a convicted sexual or an alleged sexual offender who's running from police, and has a history of running from police. No. What you would probably do if that was happening to you and you weren't the cop and you were a private citizen, you know what you probably would have done? You probably would have shot more than 7 times. Just like any other person. I'll be honest with you 100%. If someone tried to kidnap my kids, and especially if I know that they're a career criminal, yeah, I'm going to unload on them. And then I'm going to reload and I'm going to unload again. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Someone said something about... let me tell you some TV. Yes, I think he had mental issues, but clearly he can't kill a guy with an AR-15 if he has a plastic bag. Who even says he was trying to kill him? We don't even know if he was trying to kill him. Here, I sped up the chat just to get to it. But that's a question, Vaughn. That's my question. Would you have let Jacob Blake kidnap your child if you have child? I would say your dog, but I'm pretty sure you hit your dog the other day, so I'm not going to ask that. Someone said, I've dealt with way more dangerous people without a gun. Oh, okay, right, yeah. So you're a big, tough guy with your hands. Okay, gotcha. So, but again, answer my question. Answer my question. If he had a knife and he was trying to kidnap your kids and you had to use a gun to stop that threat, would you have shot? You would have shot until the threat's done, just like a normal person. And you know, even this DOJ Civil Rights Division cleared the officer because, well, you know, Vaughn is not a fake troll. I mean, maybe he fakes his whole thing, but his whole grift, I'm not quite sure. But he's real, you know. But I mean, that's my question, because you spent so much time. You talked for an hour and a half yesterday, and you talked for an hour and a half yesterday about how evil white people are. You know, and yet you're in here. And you say you're not a troll. No, you are. I mean, that's what you're doing now, because you haven't answered a single question. You haven't. Did you hold a protest? Here's my question for you: yes or no? Did you hold a protest for 8-year-old Sequoia Turner? Just say yes or no in the chat. Yes or no? Matter of fact, you want to come on my show? Send me an email right now. I'll send you an invite. You can come on my show right now. No balls. Actually, I can't do it with this setup. You want to come on tonight? Come on to my show tonight, 8:00 Eastern time. 8:00 Eastern time. Come on my show. I'll host you. I'm working from home now, so I can't do it. But let's come on my show tonight at 8:00. And maybe you will. Maybe you will have some balls. But that would be a horrible thing for you to do, because I'll destroy you in front of all your hosts, all your friends. But again, I asked you if you held a protest for I asked you if you held a protest for 8-year-old Sequoia Turner. You haven't answered that as well. I have no problem. I interviewed John Sullivan. John Sullivan was an Antifa scumbag too. I interviewed him on my show. At least he had the balls to actually come on. He said yes about what? You said yes about a protest or coming on my show? So you don't even know who 8-year-old Sequoia Turner is? Fucking scumbag. You don't know who Sequoia Turner is. Here, let me tell you, because I don't need to look it up to know this. 8-year-old Sequoia Turner was a girl that was riding in the car with her mom and her mom's boyfriend. She made a left-hand turn by the Wendy's in Atlanta, Georgia. Gangbangers blocked the road there during the riots that happened after Rashad Brooks was shot and killed by police after beating the shit out of both of them and concussing them. Now, that what's interesting about it is all the BLM supporters, and I guess they were members of a gang as well. They had burned down the Wendy's and they claimed this whole section is theirs. We covered it live. We watched all this stuff happen. There were multiple people that were killed, but the one that resonates with me is an 8-year-old girl. So her parents come off the interstate and they go down there to try to find something to eat. They approach a roadblock. She's an African-American. Her mom's African-American. The boyfriend was African-American. They pull up to a roadblock and they ask the people that they have to go. And the people tell them to turn around. They're not allowed to be there. So they get ready to turn around, and then all the BLM supporters open fire on the car. Shot 8-year-old Sequoia Turner right in the head. How do you not know about that? And that's not the first time that BLM, people that were rioting for BLM, killed people. In Louisville, Kentucky, a BLM supporter who was arrested twice for protesting, even though BLM tried to say he wasn't part of them, he was arrested twice for organizing protests in Louisville, Kentucky. He shot and killed another BLM supporter right in the park down there. It's happened quite a bit. It's happened quite a bit. And that was a white BLM supporter. Steve, if you don't let him talk, what's the point? Don't repeat Sullivan. This is my fucking show. I do what I want. I'll cut him off all I want. I have questions. Someone said, Steve has only one question. What has come out of your mouth publicly on TV? I don't know what that means. Stop. Hey, stop. Steve is the reason this dude was mentioned. Yeah, I mean, we are the ones that showed him. Steve is going to break his camera, blah, blah, blah. Steve, he said he'll do the show. If you want to do the show, you got to send an email. Send me an email to social@ptnewsnetwork.com. Send us an email to social@ptnewsnetwork.com. All right? If you don't send an email to social@ptnewsnetwork.com, then stop. Just delete your page right now. Because right now there's 1,196 people that are watching here, probably another 400 or 500 on Rumble, and maybe 2,000 or 3,000 that are watching on all of our apps, all at once. So, come on. Social@PT News Network, and then you don't need to troll in the comments. You can actually come, and I'll let you try to speak. But you talk about all these white people, and they're trying to come after you and all this stuff. No, nobody is at all. What we want is the truth in America. You know what I mean? And I'm a firm believer that if people feel like they're being marginalized, especially because of race, then we are not doing our jobs as Americans. But, however, if you took you and I, right, we're about the same age, right? Except I don't know if you're a convicted felon, but let's just say you're not, okay? If you put us both on the same wavelength, you dropped us off in the same town and said, okay, go do your thing. You both have $100. Who do you think would be more successful? Say there was no college or anything. Who do you think would be more successful? Right? Do you know where I'm getting? Because one, I don't get hiring preference. There's no hiring benefit for a company to hire me over you. I don't get special student loans or grants or scholarships. I don't get preferential treatment for the housing markets. I don't get preferential treatment for government contracting and things like that. But you would. But yet you're marginalized. I don't understand it. And just so you're perfectly clear, I grew up in the system. Foster care, all that good stuff. Poor as shit. Homeless for years. Yeah. Different, right? Because I'm not the typical guy that sits out here and talks. He said he would go live. Well, he could send me an email and we'll see. But and just so now everyone on this knows, and apparently Vaughn will come on my show at 8:00 tonight. I'll send him a link and he can come on, and don't worry, you can do it right from your phone. And you can come on my show and we'll hash this out. And I'll give you a chance to speak, and we'll have a lot of people watching. You feel free to put it on, but be careful though, because any mention of white supremacists or any shit on your page, we know who your lawyer is, and I'll just send her all the documents, Because unlike you, I'm not going to be, everything I say about you with the whole militant stuff, it's self-described, man. You literally list your name as a militant. So just be very careful, because whatever money you do have, I'll come for. And I promise you that. Our court system, our justice system is good like that, right? And then you could say the white man took stuff from you. And then you'll actually be factually correct at that point. But anyway, someone said, why do I see a September 6th date? Do you? Is the date wrong? See, I can't see it. Is that the date that's over here? That's the right time. Yeah, because it's not Monday. It's because the last time I went live using the Macintosh computer, the last time I used this computer for the live stream, it was a while ago. Here, there, bam. How's that? Is that better? Sorry about that. I can ask him that tonight. What he thinks. I mean, I'm sure he doesn't like black people, or he doesn't like Joe Biden either, because I don't think many people do. That's a good one. Wires works. He said, "Look in the mirror. That's your oppressor." Yeah. I mean, that's a decent one, because the biggest limiter to what you can do as an individual or as a person is yourself. You know what I mean? And trust me, like for many years, I limited myself. I chose to be homeless, man, and just travel around the country like a bum. That's what I did. But Vaughn is as militant mom was in Portland, Oregon. Remember that? That's funny. Yeah, the closing arguments. I think the jury's out right now for deliberations. But Jason said, that's a Steve I like and respect. May not always agree with him, but when you're right, you're right. Yeah. Status Quo said, watching on the Citizen Stringer feed on the Roku app, Vaughn is having a positive effect on Steve, having a way to focus his righteous anger toward a clearly hyper activist, shredding Vaughn's arguments before our very eyes. Yeah. So Vaughn is, you can go on my Twitter page and see him. Vaughn was the protester that said he was going to arm 17-year-olds and send them into the suburban neighborhoods and stuff like that, suburbia, to see how we like it. He was also the one that made a comment on Sunday night after making a video knowing that children were injured. He made a video talking about how this may have been the start of the revolution that he was talking about. But so for some reason he's taken offense to the fact that I called him a terrorist, because typically when and I called him a racist, which is factually correct. You know, we could back that up by his own videos, and that's the beauty of it. We record everything. So his video, if we talk, this is a thing, because we're so worried about suing or getting sued and all that stuff. The one thing we do whenever we talk about something, we back it up and we fact check it and everything. So his video yesterday, just in case he deleted it, we downloaded before we even talked about. You know what I mean? And that's why we do it. Someone said, has he emailed yet? No, he hasn't emailed yet. He's likely not going to. I just checked the email again. I'll refresh. Nope, still no email. And he probably won't. And I'll be honest, I wouldn't really blame him for not coming on his show, because you can't just say whatever you want. You know what I mean? Someone said he's a bigot. Minorities can't be racist. That's a stupid ass comment. How can you say minorities can't be racist? That's the stupidest comment I've ever heard in my life. Yes, they can. Everybody can be racist. That's a really weird comment. That one's gonna get me. No, he turned tail. But and if he does want to come on, well, we'll have him at 8:00. You guys said he said yes, so he was in the chat. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work when you actually have someone that can sit back and spit facts back at you. It really doesn't. And I'm sorry that he got actually, I'm not sorry. From Fox, activist Von May said, sounds possible that the revolution has started in Wisconsin. Yeah, you want to see the video where he said it? It's on my Twitter page. I was one of the first people that tweeted out. Someone said he doesn't have enough knowledge to debate you on truth and facts. Yeah. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anymore. If he sends an email, he sends an email. But most, like most people, when I invite him to come on the show and have a nice spirited debate about a subject, they tend not to go, especially when they find the John Sullivan one and all that stuff. Which video? My video was age restricted on YouTube. I guess I should have. The video that I made the other day about the terror attack, I didn't show anything. Oh, so they did. They restricted the whole video, which is crazy because it doesn't show anything. I didn't show a single bad video specifically on purpose so they wouldn't age restrict it, but they did it anyway. But someone said still a stupid statement, bro. His followers don't question him. He left and went live on Facebook. Oh, so he's probably ranting about me on Facebook. Cool. Well, he's welcome to come on my show. And if you don't want to come on my show, then go to bed. Go to bed. Anyway. The John interview was pretty good, yeah. He's talking shit about what you just said to him. Well, that's good, because April, why don't you go and record that one too? record that video so we can catch him. If he says white supremacist, guess how quickly I'll file a lawsuit against that shitbird. Plus, I know who his lawyer is. We already found out all that stuff. You know, Kristen, we'll send you an email real quick. You know, maybe what we'll do is we'll sue you for the dogs. So we'll take those dogs so they won't be hit anymore. I hope Vaughn sends his people over here. I hope he does. I can't do the screen capture with this computer, unfortunately. I can't do it, and I don't even want to restream it. We can I can end this, and then we can go watch on his page. But yeah, just record it, because as long as maybe that's what I should do, is just get people amped up so they can say white supremacist. So, boom, fucking sue the shit out of them. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what I got to do. But cool, thank you, April. I don't even know what his Facebook page is. But he has an option. He can come on the show tonight at 8 o'clock. And all of his supporters, you're welcome to watch too. I would hope that you would watch. Because I know he gets up here and he talks about how bad, white people are all the time. Well, I'm white. I mean, I'm tattooed, but I'm white. And I'm not that bad of a guy. I'm a pragmatic person, I like to pay attention to what's going on in this country and not be oblivious to it. He called Steve a right-wing goofball on his Facebook Live. Well, I am goofy sometimes. So am I right-wing? Probably not. I'm right. I'm a conservative. But now right-wing is kind of a derogatory term. Yeah, according to defamation attorneys, though, you can't get them. Because when Rolling Stone called me a right-wing news outlet, or they actually said far right, and I was like, I want to go after them, and I called 4 separate lawyers, and they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it. Nobody wanted to take on Rolling Stone. He said he says he'll go live with you tonight. Well, if he goes live, he goes live. But just ask him on live. He said he's coming on tonight. Well, he has my email, so he's got to send an email because that's the only way I can send him a link to join the live. And we'll have to wait and see. Sweatshirt and 2 tees. And everyone that's if you send me an email about the Patriot boxes that we sell, you can't customize them, unfortunately. So you can't say I want 2 shirts and 1 sweatshirt or 1 tank top. That's not the way it works. It's whatever is planned for that. You don't get to choose the shirts, unfortunately, even if you do live in the Arizona. Boom, 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 boom. Anyway, we're going to have to wait and see what's going to happen. The Arbery trial or jury's out for deliberations. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens with that. And we'll go from there. But I think actually I want to have some fun and watch his thing. So I'm going to end. I will go live once we have a verdict in the Arbery case, if it is today. I will go live with it. And we'll see, but as for right now, I'm going to cut this live feed off, and I will be live. Well, have they even put the jury out yet? I don't know, because I see some of the attorneys there, but I don't know if they've put them out. The jury is in deliberations yet. They may be. At any rate, and again, I haven't stated my opinion on this case at all because I know nothing about it. So I haven't stated my opinion either way. And so we'll never know. We'll never know. But for right now, I'm going to end this live stream. I'm going to put back on. Actually, I'm going to restart. Wow. I'm going to restart Vengeance Valley, and that's going to play on Citizen Stringer TV. And we will see you later.
How's Lily?